right now, One Punch Man is building up to more Giga Chad God greatness that even the original webcomic doesn't have, as far as I understand. The village arc that is focusing on the hellish training grounds that Speed of Sound Sonic and Flashy Flash were raised in, we are now finding out that it is in direct lockstep with God shenanigans, Yahweh activity. And I love it.
God, I love you.
Not only was there a cube of God within the village headquarters, but the actual facility itself, the village hidden in the leaves in the clouds of the mountains, this facility looks like the same cube that God used to communicate and find new apostles. So obviously, very overt connections with the village and the Big G. Furthermore, the dimension that God is located in, that's right, potentially, the place that Flashy Flash, Saitama, and Monaco, what they saw during the Monster Association arc, this sort of entity in a space-themed environment, in fetal position. Well, that place could be God's dimension, and that entity could be literal Yahweh itself, the Most High. Well, apparently, we can gain access to this very same place with the Rock Door of Heaven gate that is associated, that's ties to the village. And right now, the man that is the key, like Sora Kingdom Hearts, the key to the Rock Door of Heaven, the ninja god Hagoromo-like figure of the One Punch Man verse, this person is Blast's former partner, Empty Void. So clearly maintaining the themes of repeated redundancy in their names. Empty Void in the past fell under God's influence when Blast and him were searching for the cubes of God around the world. And when Void got taken over by God's influence, Blast did wound him. Apparently at the point in time, they were actually pretty close in power. But nonetheless, Blast did wound him, and the wound was so grievous that it would take, according to Blast, 15 years for him to heal from that wound normally. Something very problematic happened that Blast, Flashy Flash, Speed of Sound Sonic, Saitama company have to deal with. Void is back, and he's at full power. And man, Void is nuts. But he is using the powers of God that he stole from Garo. At that point in time, when One Punch Man was like on a crazy peak for the manga, and one can only hope that the anime, JC Staff, can reach those levels. Will it be the case?
Please.
Only time can tell. But when we were reading the manga chapters back then, we didn't know what happened to Blast, when Saitama popped out of the time stream, he hit Garo with the Zero Punch. Garo started to like explode. Garo powered down. Saitama, with causality, was forced back into his body from that point in time, and he forgot what happened in the future, though Genos' core was able to maintain itself from the future somehow, some way, and then Genos found out what happened in the future from that old core. Now, as of late, we have been getting a lot of redraws. We're gonna get like 8. I think there should be a few more, essentially. And in these redrawn chapters that did not exist at first, Murata and One have introduced the idea that Blast was there. He was above Saitama and Garo when Saitama came out of the time stream and he hit Garo with the Zero Punch. And at that point in time, Blast was diverting the radiation that was being emitted by Garo when he was in that cosmic fear form upwards into another dimension, so he would be able to protect the people on the planet from Garo's effects. However, apparently in this or near this dimension was Empty Void. So when Garo's powers left his body after the Zero Punch, Void was there to literally gobble up, like Kirby, just suck in all of the powers of God that left Garo's bodies. So the idea was that those powers had just dispersed and they are now gone. No, they were not gone. They actually went to Void. Void took in the powers that Garo had. The boy came back full HP, and likely better than ever, because what Garo could do with the powers of God, astronomical. he copied Saitama, the serious series squared. It's disgusting. And what Void does after assuming the powers of God that came from Garo is that he cuts down Blast's big gravity attack. And then after that, Blast tries to do more attacks to Void, but then Void, like, this is hard to explain, but Void essentially grabs space itself and then wraps it around his body and then just vanishes. You know that stereotype where ninja put that sort of camouflage in front of them to blend into a tree or a bush or the grass, some of that sort? He took that meme and he made it one of the most hardcore things in One Punch Man. He grabbed space and just wrapped it. And I thought he was like warping or something. But then Blast's moves, they miss completely, and then he just starts laughing in space. So it seemed like that sort of ninja technique that he used, Murata and what I've taken it to be a sort of alternate dimensional maneuver where he can actually grab space and just shit to another dimension, like a sort of One Piece Blue Note door, or like a Dorothy from Black Clover Dream World situation. He's in another dimension entirely, and he's just stunted. Bro, that was scary. That was nuts. And in the previous chapter to that, he did display a welcoming to Blast Company. And this is also in the redraws, where originally nothing happens at all to the Hero Association, and they're just watching these individuals try and recover from their monstrification, a lot of the martial artists. And Blast, he's a good dude. As far as you know, he's a hero through and through. He has secrets, obviously, but he's a hero through and through, and he wants to save his partner, his Aibo, which is why he's watching these experiments of how to hopefully reverse monstrification. But where the redraws differ dramatically is that, number one, he actually acknowledged what Saitama did in full. That's the first thing. Then number two is that he senses something amiss from another plane of existence, another dimension. And then he does a massive black hole to move the entire association right in the nick of time as these huge cuts form out of nowhere that would have cut the entire association into shreds. And this apparently was an attack by Empty Void called his Dimension Blade. He is able to cut huge, extravagant cuts in the entire area from another plane of existence. And Blast reveals that when someone operates from a higher dimension, specifically God's dimension, and they interfere with the lower dimension, things like distance, energy, and size, you can ignore all of these things. Foundational adherences to physics in this plane of existence, they do not matter. And to what degree, it depends on the subject. A similar way to how during the Saitama versus Garo fight, God runs interference. We can, let's say, kind of see God's footsteps, and we see these crazy ring clouds and God's feet coming down from this alternate plane of existence. Bro. Yes. So, One Punch Man is at it again.
Goddamn right.
Right now, we're focusing on Flashy Flash. I'm not up to date at this point in time with the redraws. Well, I will be soon. So right now, we're mainly focused on Flashy Flash and Speed of Sound Sonic, because this is the ninja-themed arc, and the ninjas are in lockstep some way with God through Empty Void, obviously. But we're gonna probably see a lot more of Blast and Saitama and Empty Void and how this pertains to God, and making, again, more steps forward in the direction of, hey, this is God, he's a crazy Giga Chad, and it's very likely that every organization across the spectrum has some sort of tie to God. Whether it's the Robot Cats organization, which ties to Genshin's backstory, whether it's Tsukuyomi and the Psychics, the ninja now are confirmed, God is in. God's been cooking a lot off screen. So much good food, Gordon Ramsay and Marco Pierre White would be blushing. It's, oh yes. I love the God components of One Punch Man. And right now, it seems like Murata and One, they're back in business. So I will be doing more videos in the near future when it comes to One Punch Man and God, and maybe some theories here and there, because obviously as a manga only reader, I can only go so far with those theory videos, since there's already a medium that exists that is ahead of the manga right now, the webcomic. But the God and the Blast stuff, oh yeah, this is new material. And it sings to me. It does. So on that note, let me know. your stance on One Punch right now, if you're following. Are you stoked? I think that this ninja stuff could go, maybe not the long haul, but when it pertains to God and knowing that Empty Void, maybe not as good as Garo, but he has a lot of the powers of God? Yeah. In a ninja way? Yeah. Sign me up. I'm here. It's gonna be way more of a flashy flash, based on Sonic, blasting, for sure. But Saitama, he's only getting more powerful as time goes on, just naturally. He may be more powerful than he was when he got angry, when he was on Io. Maybe, that's possible. Whatever he's gonna do, we know it's gonna be crazy. And it's always gonna be otherworldly when it pertains to God. So once again, I'm looking forward to this. Let me know your stance on the subject matter at hand. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on that bell to join the notification squad. I'm gonna catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
See you. Bye-bye.